All right, today we're diving into a really chilling story. It's all about power, secrecy, and a set of files that, well, were never ever supposed to be seen. Let's get right into it. Our story kicks off with this single, absolute statement. And you have to understand, this isn't just some casual warning. No, this is the entire foundation of the mystery we're about to unravel. So, where does a story like this even begin? Well, it all starts with an analyst, a really mysterious key, and a set of files hidden so deep they might as well not even exist. First, you gotta understand where these files were actually kept. We're not talking about some regular network. This was an offline server, totally air-gapped, buried deep beneath a government archive, completely isolated from the world. And on that server, the folder itself was a ghost. No title, no project code, absolutely nothing to identify it. The only clue, the only thing there at all, was a single date. No context, no explanation, just a timestamp, kind of hanging there in the digital silence. And this is where our protagonist, Evan Cross, enters the picture. He's an investigative analyst, and his whole career is built on digging through sealed intelligence. So one day, this anonymous package just shows up. Inside, an access key. No sender, no return address, nothing. Well, nothing except for one single chilling message. And this is that message. It's not a suggestion, it's a prophecy. I mean, can you imagine receiving this? The stakes are immediately crystal clear. This isn't just classified information. This is some kind of kill switch for the entire established order. Now, what Evan finds when he finally uses that key is fascinating. He's expecting a smoking gun, right? You know, hard evidence, clear accusations, actual proof. But that's not what's in there, not at all. Instead, he finds this web of deeply unsettling connections, all linked to a powerful, long-dead financier. Things like flight logs with no destinations, calendars with no events, huge payments with no reasons listed. It's this mosaic of influence without a single crime ever being named. And as you might guess, just looking at this data starts to have very real and very dangerous consequences in the outside world. The whispers in the data are about to become screams. Just look at how quickly this escalates. On day 3, an editor who agrees to help Evan just resigns. Poof, gone. By day 7, a journalist who so much as asks for access dies, a sudden stroke. A day later, a powerful senator who calls for transparency suddenly goes completely silent, withdraws his statement. A terrifying pattern emerges with chilling speed. And here's the crucial part. Nobody is making threatening phone calls or sending intimidating emails. There are no spoken threats. The power here is invisible. Silence itself becomes the weapon. People just see what happens to others who get close, and they simply stop. So, this all leads to the central question, right? If these files aren't ever meant to be released, why do they even exist? Well, Evan is about to find out the shocking purpose behind this entire system. Deep inside the archive, Evan finds this one memo, and it's like the philosophical key to the whole puzzle. The danger isn't the information itself, it's the extreme, silent, and deadly lengths people will go to just to keep it buried. So let's just ask the question directly. If they're too dangerous to release, why create them in the first place? Why maintain them on a secret server? What is their function? Evan decides to try and force the issue. He attempts to upload a small piece of the files, but the system instantly shuts him down. And then his phone rings, an unknown number. A voice on the other end delivers the final mind-blowing piece of the puzzle. Some files exist only to remind power that it can end. And this just brilliantly illustrates the whole concept. The files are not a weapon designed to be fired. Think of it more like a nuclear deterrent. Its power comes from the threat of its use, from the fact that it exists but is never, ever deployed. So the files serve 3 silent purposes. The first one is leverage. It's a permanent check on anyone whose name might be connected to that web of data, and it ensures they always stay in line. The second purpose? Fear. But we're not talking about the fear of a direct threat. This is that silent, creeping fear of what could happen if the seal was ever broken. And the ultimate goal that ties it all together? Control. A quiet, terrifying and absolute form of control over the most powerful people in the world, all without a single order ever being given. So, what happens to the man who uncovered this truth? And what's the ultimate fate of the files themselves? The very system that created the files turns on its investigator. As you can see, Evan Cross is just systematically erased. His job title, his system access, his credentials, all of it deleted. Officially, he never worked there. He never saw a thing. He literally becomes a ghost. Years go by. The only trace of the files Evan ever sees again are these occasional anonymous headlines. Just a quiet confirmation that the system is still running, that the silence is still working, and that the seal remains unbroken. And that's where the story leaves us. Somewhere, on a server that no one will ever admit exists, the files just sit there, untouched. A silent, potent reminder that some secrets get their power not from being told, but from never being told. Now, while this story is fictional, the concept it explores is very, very real. It really forces us to ask, doesn't it? In our own world, which is just overflowing with information, what secrets are most powerful precisely because they're kept? What silent leverage is being held right now over the institutions that shape our lives? It's definitely something to